So how good do you think you are when it comes to presidential trivia? Let's find out with this 10-question true or false quiz. Ready? Let's go! Number 1. True or false? John F. Kennedy was the youngest president. This is false. The Constitution asserts that you need to be at least 35 years old to be president. John F. Kennedy was elected at the age of 43, but that's the key word. Theodore Roosevelt was actually 42 when he became president following the tragic assassination of William McKinley in 1901. Let's stick with Roosevelt for number 2. True or false? Teddy bears are named for Teddy Roosevelt. Survey says true. Now this goes back to 1902 when Roosevelt went on a hunting trip down in Mississippi. Roosevelt loved hunting and he really wanted to find a bear. Some guides on the excursion tracked one down and managed to tie it to a tree for Roosevelt to shoot himself. But Roosevelt thought this was unsportsmanlike, so he personally refused to kill the bear. Word spread and a cartoonist drew a sketch of this scene that was published in the Washington Post. The drawing became popular, and then a Brooklyn couple named Morris and Rose Mitchum decided to create a stuffed animal called Teddy's Bear that they then sold in their store. Orders took off. Question number 3. True or false? All presidents spoke English as their native language. What do you think? The answer is actually false. Our 8th president, Martin Van Buren, grew up in a Dutch-speaking community in New York, so English was actually his second language. Next up, Abraham Lincoln. True or false? Lincoln scribbled down the Gettysburg Address on the back of an envelope while he was on a train. Rumors have circulated about this one for a long time, but the answer is false. Now there are 5 existing original manuscripts of the Gettysburg Address, which Lincoln delivered in November of 1863, several months after the battle, and also a good period of time after he had been invited to give his remarks. But none of those are written down on an envelope. They're all on regular paper, and they're all written in steady penmanship. If Lincoln had been riding on a train, this would not have been the case. Let's stick with Lincoln for this next one. True or false? Lincoln Logs are named after the president. This is true. The eponymous toy dates back to the early 1900s. Original sets even included instructions on building a replica of the log cabin that Lincoln grew up in. Counting down to number 6. True or false? William Howard Taft got stuck in a bathtub. The answer to this one is false. While our most portly president weighed over 300 pounds, his bathtub was huge, and rumors of him getting stuck in it didn't circulate until long after he had left office. Number 7. True or false? Richard Nixon was the first president to be impeached. This one is false and requires a little bit of explanation. Nixon likely would have been impeached for the Watergate scandal in the early 1970s. However, he resigned from office before that could happen. So far, there have been 3 presidents who have been impeached by the House of Representatives, and that dubious achievement first fell to Andrew Johnson in the 1860s. None of the presidents have been impeached by the Senate. Let's follow up with Nixon's successor, Gerald Ford, for this next one. True or false? Gerald Ford was really clumsy. Okay, this one has its unfortunate origins in Gerald Ford tripping down a set of airplane stairs. Whoopsie daisy. But in reality, Gerald Ford was really athletic. He was a star football player at the University of Michigan in the 1930s, and he had the opportunity to try out for a couple of pro teams before he ultimately decided to go to law school at Yale University and do some coaching. Number 9. True or false? Andrew Jackson killed a man. This is actually true. In 1806, more than 20 years before Jackson became our 7th president, he shot and killed a man named Charles Dickinson in a duel. Last but not least, George Washington. True or false? George Washington cut down a cherry tree with a hatchet when he was only 6 years old. This one is false. We like to think about George Washington saying he cannot tell a lie, but stories about the cherry tree didn't emerge until after Washington had died. So how'd you do? What's your favorite presidential trivia? Leave a comment below. Be sure to like and subscribe for more videos, and thanks for watching.